so they're actually starting it. Cool. That's
Please
sweet.
welcome
Sweet,
Agnes
dude.
and Corey from the Minecraft team.
This is what he was doing.
Hello, Agnes and Corey. What do the two of you do on the team?
Hello. So I'm the lead of the Minecraft gameplay team.
And I'm on the Minecraft gameplay team.
Very convenient.
Thank you.
So you're here to tell us about something pretty exciting and pretty adorable. What is it?
Yes. So we're going to talk about the very cute and also useful bees.
Bees. Let's look at some bees.
What's this one?
Yeah, so you can see here, the bees are going to and from the flowers, kind of pollinating the flower, gathering some pollen, nectar, taking it back to the hive. As they go, you can see them sort of dropping the nectar pollen particles and growing the crops, actually. And so you can sort of learn the relationship between the bee and the flowers and the crops and the hives that way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. They're a little bigger than I would have thought. How did you decide on their size?
Yeah, so originally we thought maybe we'll have, tiny bees. Everyone expects bees to be tiny. They're already tiny. Tiny bees are not cute enough. They make you feel like they're kind of annoying. They're kind of swarming in your ear. And then big bees, we tried bees the size of a full block. That was way too big. It was not, no. So we settled on about half a block, and we think it's the cutest size for a bee.
That's awesome. Oh, okay. People like the size of the bees.
Apparently.
My dad raises bees.
And you actually thought a lot about how the real world and the game mechanics go together. So let's look at some of the ways you're teaching people about bees.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can see here, the campfire is being placed underneath the nests in order to gather the honey and honeycomb safely. One issue, actually, is that if you, as you can see here, if you harvest without putting the campfire underneath, the bees get angry at you because why are you invading their home? That's not cool. The campfire is smoking and allowing the bees to calm down.
I think a really nice little detail is when they stung you, they actually lose their stinger and eventually die, which of course is very sad, but that's also how it works in real life, actually. So.
Okay, and you're really excited because people can learn more about bees through Minecraft, and that's something pretty important to the two of you.
Yes. So often, actually, when we add things to Minecraft, we are thinking, can we teach something? And in this case, since the bee population is decreasing a lot in the real world, which is a big problem, we really felt that we wanted to teach the players. So that's why one of the reasons that the bees need flowers in order to produce honey and to
this is how it
speed
works
up the
in real
crop
life,
growth.
people.
Because if you actually plant more
have to
flowers
deal
in the
with
real
it.
world,
My
that
dad
will help
raised
the
them.
bees in the real world as well.
And Corey, you took this learning about bees to the next level. Tell us about that.
I did. I actually, I spent a long time going out and researching. I met with several bee experts. I went and studied hives. I studied nests. I lived as a bee for a while, actually.
I feel like we need to see some footage of that to believe it.
Yeah, I think we have that, actually.
Believe it, right?
Dude up. We're going to meet the bees.
I didn't know.
No, brother.
This is Bee Urban. Big eyes.
This is actually hilarious.
It's a wrap for today.
All right, Leif, it was good to be here.
So how much did you learn about the bees on your little expedition?
I learned way more than anybody should ever know about bees.
Except maybe the bee expert?
Except maybe the bee experts. But there are so many fascinating bee facts out there that I learned. And I mean, both Leif and Josefina, the people I met, were incredibly amazing, wonderful people, taught me everything. And so I actually used a lot of that knowledge to work on bees in Minecraft.
That's really cool, and that's going to become a YouTube video that's a bit of a documentary about the process of bees, so you'll be able to watch that in a few weeks.
I think next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
But there's one thing no one has seen in any snapshots related to the bees, and we're going to premiere it here at minecon. So what is it?
Yes, so we're actually adding a new block, and that's the honey block.
Let's see the honey block.
So it's very sticky, and as you can see, you can't really jump when you are on the honey block. And it's also sticky on the sides, so you fall down very slowly.
Also, you can't really run on it. It keeps you going pretty slowly, so you can't go very fast. You can't really outrun anything.
We also added some interesting piston mechanics to it. So the honey block moves with piston, and also players or animals on it will also move together with the honey blocks.
So how do you see players using this amazing new honey block?
Yeah, I think it would be super cool
Honey
if
block.
players use these
Where's the
new
wax
honey blocks to
block?
create some kind of like platform game map, and the players have to jump and they move around, and I think that could be really fun.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to parkour maps. I really want to see players utilize the sliding mechanics up and down, but also the inability once you jump up, jump
Man,
down.
the
you can't jump back
gameplay
up.
with this.
So normally, if there's a 1 block difference, you can just go back and forth. But with the honey block,
Oh,
you'd be stuck.
man.
That's amazing. And last thing, Agnes, I know Corey has taken up a big hobby. It sounded like
Hobby?
that
Okay.
you started doing it too. But Corey, what is Corey's hobby?
Yeah, I haven't officially started doing it, it just happened. But so, for months, every day, there is like at least 10, probably more like 100 bee puns every day at the office.
Okay, Corey, then to close out the B section at minecon Live 2019, can you give us a bee pun?
I mean, that's pretty situational, though. I can't just wing it and be creative like that.
And now, please welcome to the stage Agnes and Jens.
Finally! Woo! Woo! Woo!
Welcome. How has the show been for the two of you? You were buzzing around.
Yes, no, it's been super fun. Yeah, really amazing.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Great job.
It was very cool to see the Dungeons premiere.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so fun. And I love the opening cinematic. It's so cool.
It's beautiful. So Jens, how does it feel when we have 2 new games coming out?
Oh, it's of course great. Like we have Minecraft Dungeons and Minecraft Earth, but we actually have a third Minecraft game coming out. It's a board game called Minecraft Builders and Biomes.
Builders and Biomes.
Yes.
What? Very exciting. Yeah, there might be a hint at Builders and Biomes somewhere for people to see. So you're going to tell us about an update, the next big update. But before that, I want to know how you got into gaming. Agnes?
Oh, yeah, so I have played games and loved games as long as I can remember. And I used to draw games before I could program. I actually learned programming much later, so I just draw my own games. Yeah, and then one day I thankfully made it into gaming and work on games, and it's so fun.
We have a photo of the original Tiny Agnes here. I love that you're playing on a computer. You also have a baby bottle. So those, you have really been playing since you were very small.
Yes, I mean, I think I should be old enough to drink from something else there, though. But I probably was quite stubborn. I'm like, I want my bottle.
Were you coding at this point, or was that, you said much later?
Yeah, no coding yet, only playing.
And Jens, how was game development? How did you get your start?
Yeah, it's a very similar story. Like I loved games, and I made levels on paper and added enemies. And when a friend showed me a shoot 'em up construction kit on the C64, that's when I realized, oh, you can make games. And I've been doing that since then, more or less.
And of course, we have a photo of adorable tiny Jens there on the left playing a Game & Watch.
Yes.
You look the same.
Without the
More beardy. So you're going to tell us about the next update.
Yes. But first,
Okay, but first.
a part of the next update, we want to show you a block that is not completely related to the theme of the update, but still it's really cool. So here is the target block.
Target block.
What? Oh! I think I know what this is. A Fletcher. Something to do with Fletcher. Is it a redstone update? Is it something to do with redstone?
Ooh. How cool is that? I also like your little chicken advisor there, hanging out during the whole process. Tell us about the target block.
Yeah, so you can shoot arrows at the target block, and it will emit a redstone signal. And the closer the arrow hits the bullseye, the bigger the signal will be.
How do you see players using this?
Well, make mini games and various contraptions, of course, and maybe also create new hidden entrances to their bases.
That would be cool.
Yes.
That would be amazing. So you said this is
This is
part
gonna
of
be so cool.
the next update, which
Yes.
is
Yeah, we're super excited to finally have a Nether update.
the Nether update.
Another update! The Nether.
So the Nether hasn't been a place that's very livable, and that is all about to change. So how is that changing?
I mean, well, it will still not be easy to live there.
Okay.
But you can. So we want players to be able to have a base there. So for example, you can set your spawn in Nether, you can find food in Nether, but it's still really a dangerous place.
Food in the Nether. So that means there's something.
Well, it's a new mob, and we will talk more about it later.
Okay. So first,
Yeah, of course. We also wanted to make sure that there's more things to explore and yeah, more things to find and more things to do. So we wanted to introduce biomes to the Nether.
Yes, so we will actually show some of them today, and the first one is the Soul Sand Valley.
Soul Sand Valley.
Oh! Whoa! What? Blue fire? What? Blue fire? What?
You're right. Not sure I would want to live there.
Well, depends on what you prefer.
So what's happening in Soul Sand Valley? It looks incredible.
Yeah, so I would say this is a scary biome. It's quite barren, and it has this blue fog and the blue fire, which is a new block. Or actually, if you place fire on a soul sand, it will now turn blue. And it's also like the stalactites and visible fossils.
And you'll be able to take the Soul Sand block, and that will work in any of the
Yeah,
dimensions.
absolutely, absolutely.
That is very cool. I bet people will do really amazing things with blue flames. You did say biomes, so we have another biome to look at. What biome is that?
It's the Nedward Forest.
Whoa. Okay, these are just concepts. I get that. What? Different types of mushrooms. Sweet. It's not a cave update, but something.
There's a lot in the Netherwart Forest, so what's happening in there?
Lots of things. So yeah, as you can see, it's two variants of it. So the red one has quite a very alive atmosphere in its own very weird and nettery way. So it's like swirling particles and a lot of vegetation. So it's very dense. So like the players should get lost in there. And then we have the blue one, which has a very a unique atmosphere. It's like even more weird, if possible. And it has just the particles of it's falling, and then lots of new blocks, like lots of new vegetation.
How did you decide on the colors? Because it's so different than the look of the Nether when you add these biomes.
Yeah, when we wanted to make sure that when you explore, you get a more variation and more than just red and yellow. And we were thinking about how the overworld is much green, blue, and gray, and then this black, purple, and yellow. So we were thinking, how can we add more color depth to the Nether that kind of creates a good feeling for the Nether still.
It's really beautiful, but you said it's going to be just as hard. So even though this looks quite, like an oasis, it's not going to be?
Well, we still call the Netherworld Forest the Nether Oasis, but that doesn't mean it will be easy being there. So there will be, for example, a new hostile mob, and I think we could show it now, and we temporarily call it the Piglin Beast.
Piglin Beast.
Oh, okay. Sounds interesting.
So you said we're temporarily calling it the Piglin Beast. What does that mean for everyone?
So we would actually love to get suggestions from the community on a better name. So please, if you have any suggestions, send them, and then we can pick the name later.
And what happens with this new to-be-named Piglin Beast?
So the to-be-named Piglin Beast is really aggressive, so it's quite scary, but it's also the food source in Nether, actually. And so we really want the experience to be very unique in Nether. It shouldn't feel like another overworld. So when you get your food, you can't just have like a pretty little farm. Instead, you need to find this scary, aggressive Piglin Beast and get the food from there.
And this is the first time you have a food source in the Nether?
Yes.
Which is really awesome. So that does make it livable-ish.
Livable-ish.
Scary to live in still. And where does piglins come from?
So piglin is actually what we call the pigmen now, and we are introducing piglin mob as well. We can take a look at the video, I believe.
Let's see them. Piglin.
Oh! They're advances. We're gonna have another update.
They look mean, but they also have the floppy ears.
The floppy.
They're kind of cute too.
Yes.
We need Nether villages!
Yeah, there's a lot of going on in this video, but at the core, the piglin is almost like a new civilization that we add to the Nether, and they are actually hostile towards the player. They also don't like wither skeletons, and they hunt the piglin beast for food as well.
Wow.
But they do collect gold, and if you, as in this picture, wear gold armor, they will kind of they will ignore you. They won't like you, but they will ignore you unless you open chests or start poking in their stuff.
Yes, I really like this mechanic actually. So if you open a chest close to a piglin and they see you, they will get really upset.
Yes. But there's actually a good reason why the player wants to approach the piglins, because we will introduce a new kind of trading with them that we call bartering. But it's a little bit different to villager trading. It's
yeah, because villager trading, the villagers are like, very friendly. The piglins do it in their own way. So it's like you can throw some gold at them, and they will just like throw an item somewhere, and then you can go pick it up. So it's more piglin style trading.
That's amazing. So will there be new things that they're going to barter with you?
It will, but we will not tell what you can barter yet.
Okay. So new things coming to the Nether. That is a lot of Nether things coming. Any particular favorites in this update for either of you? Or you love them all too much?
Yes, but for me it is the piglins, because we have so many ideas.
Ooh, yes. So many ideas for them.
Yeah.
Agnes?
I think for me it's the biomes, because, well, it will be so interesting to explore, but of course biomes also add so many new resources and so many new atmospheres. So yeah, I'm very excited for the biomes.
Amazing.
What an excellent show! We got them hot off the stage. Welcome back and settle in, because we've got plenty more to talk about. Let's kick off our post-show wrap-up with our developers panel. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here backstage. Excellent job on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. As also joining us in a little bit, you know her as one of the hosts of the show and Mojang's chief brand officer, Lydia Winters. But let's jump into the panel first. So, Corey, you work on the vanilla gameplay team. What are your plans for the Illusioner mob?
Oh, the Illusioner. All right. So the Illusioner has been in the game for quite a while, but it hasn't actually, at least in Java Edition, but it hasn't actually been part of the core game. It's just been there kind of hiding. So I really want to add the Illusioner to the game. We've been wanting to add it for a while, but we didn't have the technical capabilities originally. So we've been working on building up those capabilities so that we can add it in. And I really want to see them enter raids. I think they would be perfect for raids. I think they would be a great addition to those, and planning that soon, hopefully.
Awesome. All right, so next up is Jason. Jason, you're on the platform team for Bedrock. When will complete parity happen?
So, for every update, we want to actually have each update come out at the same time for both versions, for all the updates moving forward. There's obviously a back catalog of parity differences.
So now we know the Illusioner is coming.
But realistically, we'll probably never have full parity, because there are different technical, they're just a different technical platform that each one is on, and there's different design considerations as well. So like on Bedrock, we have to make sure that touch and controller work really well, and sometimes we have to tweak gameplay as a result of that to get everything to feel as good as it possibly can. But we want to make sure, at least spiritually, the games both platforms feel like the same game.
And when, if ever, will we be seeing penguins? Because I saw your that was super cute.
Hopefully soon, but we have to convince some people.
All right. Well, if you need any help, I don't know. Maybe I can blow up Twitter or something.
We did get the brown mushroom in last year.
Yes, we did.
All right. Well, our next question is about the character creator, and we have Sarah here. Sarah, will there be additional free options in character creator in the future besides what's in the beta right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of as what Jared had spoken to earlier, there's stuff you can get through achievements, but then in additional to that, there's going to be more free stuff that people will be able to get.
The mountains are coming,
nice.
guys.
All right.
The mountains
are coming. So now let's go to a question about Minecraft Earth, and we have the game director Torfi here to answer. Torfi, is there a limit to the number of people who can participate in an adventure?
Yeah, there's a limit. It's kind of like the limit with elevators. It's like how many people you can physically squeeze together, because you actually have to be there in the same place.
Yeah.
You can't play an adventure together from different houses or different cities. You have to actually be in that park at that time. The cap actually is 40. It's just a number we typed in. We were testing it, and you know, it could go higher and higher and higher. We were just afraid what would happen if more than 40 people would pile up on each other on a 3 meter by 3 meter square.
So 40 was the safe spot. I mean, 40 is still a lot of people.
Yeah. That's kind of a luxury problem to have.
Yeah, totally. You usually don't hear about it working out that way.
No.
How does the game determine who's playing with you?
Well, that's actually quite simple. The game determines who is in the adventure simply by who's there. So if I'm in that park at that time, now remember or not remember, I haven't told anyone, but now you can remember, after I tell you now, that the game spawns the adventure, let's say, in your park, and it's only there for 10 minutes. So you get in, and it lives there for 10 minutes, and you play the adventure, but then you know, by virtue of some sort of magic, it starts unspawning.
I am really okay with the cave.
The people who are there,
Nothing
even if they don't know each other, if it's just the same people, they're part of the same adventure and they
just
share the same
go
ties.
there,
When
I
it
get
collapses
blown up,
like
it's
these
really
ones,
boring.
they're out. So
Got it.
yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right, so we also have the game director for Minecraft Dungeons here, Mons. Mons, do you have a favorite ability in Minecraft Dungeons that we should look forward to?
Sure. So the way abilities work in Minecraft Dungeons is that they're kind of separated between artifacts that you have in your hotbar, they have a cooldown, and then there's the enchantments where you invest points that you get as you level up into gear. So I think combining those gives some really interesting gameplay. So I'm the type of person who likes to play an archer character, take out enemies from a distance. So combining the multi-shot enchantment for bows, which lets you kill a bunch of mobs at once, and then using the fireworks arrow to sort of get fireworks all over the screen. I think that's really fun.
That's super cool. All right, so let's now get into some vanilla gameplay questions, this time for Agnes from the vanilla gameplay team. Agnes, why are there no female villagers?
Okay, yeah. So the reason is that we actually don't have any genders at all in Minecraft. I mean, I am aware of that the existing villagers do look quite much like men, but they are not actually. It's more for historical reasons that look like men. And we also, when we made all the new villager skins for the Village and Village update, we really thought a lot about making sure they were neutral to show that we don't have any genders.
Very nice. All right, so we have a question for Frederick from the Realms team. Frederick, will we be able to use the content that we get from Realms Plus in places other than our realm?
Yes. Like the content that is included in Realms Plus is it's available just as any other marketplace content. If there's a skin, you can equip it and you can play on it on the realm, but you can also play it on locally or with your friends if you have a server. And if you have content already on your realm and you want to try out some other piece of content that's included, you can just download it and play it locally and offline.
That's great. Yeah. So once you've got it, you can utilize it pretty much wherever.
All the 50 pieces of content that is included, you can use it wherever you want.
Awesome. All right, so some general questions. So whoever wants to dive into these, that's totally fine. First up is, which feature was the most fun for you to add into Minecraft? You.
I would say, I mean, there are so many features that I worked on in Village and Pillage. A lot of them were really fun, but I think the overall most fun was the simplest one, which was brown mushrooms. Because at the last minecon developer panel, somebody asked why we didn't have brown mushrooms, and I just kind of went out and said I would add them.
So now you were forced to.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really talk to the team about it. I just kind of went ahead and said that, and then it was okay. We ended up adding it. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the Illusioner will be this year's brown mushroom.
Very cool. Oh, very cool.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. Anybody else has a particular favorite that they want to talk about?
I loved working on the entire Update Aquatic, but especially on Update Aquatic, the tropical fish. It was kind of funny because initially we were like, we're just going to put a clownfish in there, and it was working in the coral, and I'm like, corals have way more color variations than this and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, what if we made like 16 colors of fish? And then I'm like, well, what if we had like 2 shapes? What if we had 16 colors of stripes? What if we had this? And then we had like 3,500 different patterns of fish or something. So it kind of grew up, but it was so much fun to do that. And I love seeing that, like how it turned out in the reefs as a result.
Personal question off the top of my head, just because I'm curious about this, but there's so many options in order to build things and be creative in Minecraft. Do you ever find yourself having to pull back? And then if so, how do you make those decisions?
I am excited about the honey block.
Yeah, so it's the easy one off the top of my head, y'all. That's how good I am. Anybody want to go for that, or did I scare you all?
I mean, when you're working on, I work on vanilla Minecraft. So when you're thinking of features for vanilla Minecraft, you could go as you kind of think big and then you shrink it down to what will actually fit in vanilla, because you could go super crazy and think about the craziest, funnest thing possible.
Yeah.
But that might not fit in the game. It might not work for all player types, and you kind of have to shrink it down. That happens for almost every feature, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so it's always a bit of a give and take.
Definitely.
The key thing is making sure we get all the features that do make it in to be as polished as possible. Like we could put twice as many things in there, but they're not going to have the polish that we'd have otherwise.
Yeah.
So by keeping the updates tight, we can make everything be amazing.
Yeah, and I would also say that it's also important that that whatever you put in there doesn't have just like one function. Like you generally, if you add the block or you add them up, they should have like multiple functions and be connected to multiple systems. Like we have this new chicken in Minecraft called the Cluckshroom, And the Clockshroom actually loves to hide in the darkness and lays mushrooms. And it was actually a problem when we were testing it.
I don't blame it.
I put a bunch of them on a build plate, and I was like turned back, and I looked back, and they were all gone. We thought it was a bug when we started debugging it, but we realized later they had found a small crack in the ground, like a little tunnel into the ground, and I started digging, and they were all hiding like in a little hole.
Because they're ashamed that they're laying mushrooms.
I think to Toffee's point as well. So we really think about when we add these things, like you have with the Clockshroom, and like when we add things to dungeons, about how it fits into Minecraft as a whole, right? So we have loads and loads of ideas, obviously, and they all go into sort of a phase of pruning, and then we take the things that feel like they really belong in the game, and then we add those.
Very cool. Agnes, did you want to finish your thought? And then the next question actually is for you too.
Okay, no, sure, but I can finish this one. No, so, yes, related to this, we work a lot, very iterative and with prototypes, and to make sure that it's actually fun in-game. So we make sure to implement all the things very early, so we can test in-game and then decide based on how it feels in-game, what should stay in the update and what should be removed. And it's also not a failure if we, for example, remove a prototype. That's part of the process to make sure that we really have fun things that we can leave.
All right, well, so the next question for you actually is a Twitter question, and it is, will you update all 3 biomes eventually, but first the one that got voted, or only the one that got voted?
We will update all of them eventually. So, yeah, but mountains will be first.
Very cool. Good, because that's the one I voted for.
I voted for Swamp first.
You guys were on
then
stage.
voted for Mount.
I voted for Swamp. So, but I really
you lost.
I like mountains.
I can finally finish. I've been working on this, the Shining Hotel, that Overlook Hotel, for like 2 years now. And now that the mountains, I'm going to wait until the mountain update comes out, and then I'm going to bust out with it. I'm very excited. All right, so moving on. Less about me, more about you guys. This is to everybody as well. What is the funniest bug that you've ever encountered? Kind of going off of what you were saying about the Clockshrooms.
There was one in the character creator for a while where, when you loaded up the game, for whatever reason, they would blink, and then it would get faster and faster and faster and faster, just constantly blinking. It was the most oh my god, they're possessed now. It was frightening.
That sounds amazing. You should have left that in.
I know, right? It's definitely a feature, especially in a lineup of 5, on the carousel.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre.
That's super creepy. I love it. Anybody else has a favorite?
When we were bringing the animation system into Bedrock, all the pigs, all of a sudden, they kind of rotated their whole bodies this way, and their head was on the ground. It kind of looked like a pink vacuum cleaner. And they were running around the world like that with their head scraping the ground. It was the funniest thing.
I really like all this. Yes, when the mob's models gets weird, which they kind of always get when we add a new animal to Minecraft, because it's, at least in Java, it's super tricky to add them. So it's often the head is there, and the legs are up on the back, and it just looks super weird, and they walk around.
Has there ever been a bug that you guys have run into that you liked so much that you just left alone?
Yes.
All the time.
All the time?
We have a thing in dungeons where the arch illager sometimes appears and disappears, and it does that by kind of getting really small and then getting bigger again. And so we had this bug where if you shot him while he was really, really small, the arrow would scale up with him. And suddenly when he's big again, he has this giant arrow shooting out of him. Now in the game we have an enchantment called Growing, so if you shoot, the arrow kind of gets a little bit bigger.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, good problem solving. All right, so this one is for everyone, and it also is from Twitter. What are your favorite mobs?
Ooh, okay, I actually might be a weird answer, but I really like sheep.
That's totally that's fine. Yeah,
and I like when I play myself. I think, well, maybe except horses, sheep are the mobs I have most. In my big town I'm building, and I'm using a lot of
maybe goats can hate
rules.
sheep.
I can build funny, colorful buildings with it.
Is that what attracts you to the sheep as the mob? What is it about the sheep that you like?
Well, I mean, they are cute, but yes, it's the wool and that you can color it. I really like that. Yeah.
Very cool. Anybody else has a
There's one
fave?
that I think is amazing, which is part of the new mobs from Minecraft Earth, and it's unannounced, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Maybe that's the next poll for next year is which mob do you think was Torfy's favorite. For next year. We've got it figured out. All right, so here's a good one. Where do you guys see Minecraft going in the next 10 years?
So we want to continue update Minecraft for many years, much more than just 10 years. So I think we will continue probably to have these major updates. 2 updates here approximately, and then just continue. And then of course we need to make sure to always keep Minecraft Minecrafty, and that's something we think a lot about. As soon as we add anything or just fix a bug, we always need to think so we don't like break the magic of Minecraft.
No, I think that's brilliant. We were actually talking yesterday about how at this point Minecraft is pretty iconic. So I feel like it's, you know, it's here to stay and it's always going to remain relevant. Does anybody else have any specific things that they think are going to Minecraft in 10 years? I mean, you're in a unique position because you've got dungeons, and that's a whole different ballgame of sorts.
So from our perspective, I'm excited about all the new games coming out. Both Earth and Dungeons, I think, are exciting, and I'm looking forward to that happening. But I'm also looking forward to updating Dungeons over time. So we'll launch it, but then we'll keep updating it as we go, just like we do with regular Minecraft.
Not to put you in the hot seat, but what's the pressure been like knowing that you're taking such a beloved game and kind of shifting gears with it in a different direction? You're like, it's been the worst.
It's certainly a little spooky, and it's something that we think about a lot as we make it. But we have the luxury of sitting right next to the vanilla team, so if we need to like sync with Agnes or Corey or Jens, we just walk over there and do that, and that's tremendously useful for this.
Yeah,
that's
we
great.
Actually collaborate a lot on the design. So we have, I mean, we sit next to each other, but we also have like weekly things where we talk through all like design questions that come up and inform each other. So we're really synced, which is really good.
There you go. Just like Minecraft, you need to learn how to collaborate in order to build great things. Oh my gosh, hired me for your PR. All right, so Torfy, this one's from Twitter. Okay. What will Minecraft Earth be like for those in rural areas compared to those in cities and suburbs?
Well, that's a good question. So Minecraft Earth has, you know, these features that we look at, the adventures and the build mode, but in order to go out and find the adventures and to collect blocks, you have to like walk, basically use your feet. And there's a map, and we used OpenStreetMap, which is like an open source database, which is a really amazing map of the entire globe. So in order to pick the places where we put the content, we didn't choose the path that other games have gone to have players go out and promote areas, because what happens then is it's mostly like places in big cities or in bigger towns. But OpenStreetMap literally has a map of every small town in the world. So we had a bit of a problem. I probably shouldn't talk about it right now, but I will.
I mean, feel free.
That some people, like, people are playing Minecraft Earth right now in 5 cities, but some people found out a way how to play them somewhere else. And when that happened, like I woke up and I opened the map and I can see like a you know, a heat map of the world where people are playing, and it was like literally everywhere. It was like small towns in Russia, somewhere in Siberia, somewhere in South America, in Africa, and in Asia. Like it was literally like a virus infection of the entire world, which is cool, but you know, shouldn't have happened. The point I'm saying is it should be everywhere where people live. So like not in some like random hill in the middle of the Sahara, maybe not, but where people live and where's the map, there should be Minecraft Earth.
Very cool. Totally random, and maybe you did or didn't do this, and I wouldn't know because I haven't played the beta yet, but are there any Easter eggs at all?
Yeah,
tons?
Yeah.
Great. Well, I will be outside a lot. All right. So, again, this one's to everyone. This one's from Twitter. Actually, you know what? I'm taking that back. I want to move on to a different one. Corey, what things are important to consider when brainstorming ideas to suggest to developers or make into a vanilla-style mod?
That's a big question.
I know. That's why I switched it up, because the other one I think is going to be more fun.
Yeah, so when you're kind of thinking of ideas, when we think of ideas, we try to think first of, would this fit in with the original game? Does it add something to it? And then we think, does it work with other features that are already in the game? We really try to add things that will interact with the game loop and try to bring everything together. So when you're thinking of features to suggest, try to think about how does this interact with features that are already in the game? How would this enhance them, for instance?
Like penguins would really enhance Minecraft.
You make them chase fish. And
Yeah, it'd be perfect. But that's what you got to think through, is what you're saying. Yeah.
They would interact with fish. You know, there's glaciers that were added, and
they drop
water.
feathers. They'd be on glaciers.
I like the pitch that I've started.
I don't think I'm allowed to go 2 mobs in one developer panel, so I'm going to hold off there.
No worries, no worries. All right, so this is the other question that I was holding off on. This is for everybody. What are your favorite pizza toppings? You want to just start and go around?
Oh, yeah.
I love pepperoni.
Nice,
Classic.
solid choice. I like the classics.
It's like a tomato and cheese pizza. Nothing fancy.
That's fine. It's totally fine.
I think bell pepper. Actually.
Bell pepper.
Yeah.
Okay. Nah.
This is a tricky question.
Or a trick question.
Well, to be fair, like if there's a really good cheese on it, I probably think mozzarella, which is quite basic as well. But yes, I would say so.
You thought that was tricky? I thought that was a perfectly fine answer.
I had to thought for a long time. I had to think for a long time.
That's true. You guys have actually been on stage for like a good solid 2 hours. I'm sure you're starving. Torfi, what about you? What's your favorite pizza
I once
topping?
had a pizza in a restaurant in Eastern Iceland, which was called Rudolf, and it had like reindeer meat and red berries. It's very sad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But
Was
generally just pepperoni and pineapple.
I mean, emotionally sad, yes, but was it tasty?
Sadly, yes.
Sadly, yes. What about you guys?
ham, pineapple, and bacon.
Ooh, mixing it up.
I'm with Agnes here. Like a really good mozzarella cheese. There's a one called Scamorza, which is like a smoky. Yeah,
Ooh,
so good.
I need to try that.
Okay, I'm really hungry now.
Great. I know, me too. I'm like, got the shakes. I'm like, oh, let's get some food. All right, so last question. I know we briefly touched upon it before about the biome, but let's talk about the result of the biome vote. How do you guys feel about mountains being in this year's winning biome? I mean, we know you wanted swamp.
Yeah, but I'm super happy about mountains as well. I mean, we like all of them. Otherwise, I guess we wouldn't have them in the vote. So no, it will be great, and I'm excited to start prototype on it and see what will happen with them, with like the cooler mountain generation and things like that.
Yeah, fantastic. Everybody else?
I've been campaigning internally for goats for about a year now.
Yeah.
I'm ecstatic that mountains won.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
goats. I think that one of the best things about vanilla is that we've been doing recently is taking the features that have been there for a long time and then kind of updating them. So it'd be really nice to give a fresh coat of paint to the mountains.
Fantastic. You guys too? Are you on board for the mountains?
Yeah, 100% all on, Team Mountain Goat.
You're like, I'm in a dungeon. I don't.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm a little bit sad about not seeing the frog, but
the frog was cute.
You will.
All right, that's a solid point. The frog was super adorable. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me, and congrats again on such an excellent show. You did an amazing job up there, and I'm looking forward to seeing the new updates.